Next story. Let's talk a little A-Dub. It's not really a story. I just wanted to praise him a little bit. But I've been saying on this show for, I don't know, 3 years that AEW just needs that one story and it'll captivate everybody. It'll turn things around. And I even made a joke that they needed to bring in John Cena and turn him heel. I always said they needed an NWS storyline. But it seems that there's the kernel of an NWO storyline. So on Dynamite, they bring back Jack Perry and Tony Khan. He's out there. He reinstates Jack Perry. Jack Perry's holding his hand up and he hits Tony Khan in the rib with the microphone. And then out comes the Young Bucks and Okada. They're like, Perry, what are you doing? This is a billionaire. And they give Tony Khan the Meltzer driver, now named the Tony Khan driver. So Tony Khan has taken a bump, and it seems that I guess there's like a hostile takeover happening. But for once, AEW has a interesting story brewing. See what they do with it. It got far enough to the point where Tony Khan, because this is draft weekend and he owns the Jaguars, so he was on TV wearing the neck brace, selling his injuries. So that's why I wanted to praise him, because he kept kayfabe alive. And like I said, we're still a long way from it being something. But I always said they needed that one big storyline, and it seems like we are in the midst of that maybe happening. And it's off to the races once you do. You already got it mentioned from Rich Eisen. You got it mentioned from Pat McAfee, Dan Levitard, ESPN, those two weirdos that he was talking to. So you're getting attention, and that's always a good thing for your company. So that's what I wanted to praise him. Keep up the good work there.
You know, everybody's laughing at this storyline, right? They're making fun of Tony. And you drew parallels to the NWO and this storyline. The difference between the NWO and this is the NWO was stars. You had Hogan, Hall, Nash. Or better yet, you had Hogan, Razor Ramon, and Diesel, all champions. In this storyline, you have Jungle Jack Perry, who, by the way, is just about the same size as little tiny Tony Khan, and the Young Bucks, who they've only diminished in popularity since AEW started. So Dixie Khan being a character is not going to be the jumpstart storyline that you're talking about. And since we've started this, I have done nothing but call AEW TNA 2.0, and they have done nothing but prove me right since we started this. So you can have your storyline. I'll be proven right again.
Well, I'm just saying, they got attention. So
you mentioned the ESPN spots and how Tony Khan was wearing his neck brace and how he was keeping kayfabe alive. They were mocking him to his face because he's a fucking joke. Everybody knew he wasn't hurt. He just looked like a clown. And they weren't laughing with him. They weren't going along with it. He was a joke. You're talking on a network, talking about a real sport, and then you want to bring in that shit. It reeks of desperation, just like anything else that they do. And it's going to fall flat, just like anything else that they do.
well, if they book it right, it won't.
There's no if. They won't book it right.
Well, that will remain to be seen.
No, they won't book it right. They have not booked anything right. They've booked stuff decently. I'd say Cody and CM Punk stuff was good. The MJF stuff is good. Tony knows how to put some quote-unquote dream matches together that have no build whatsoever.
Absolutely.
What interest does Tony have in his bag of tricks for any of the matches, for any of his booking, for any of his product? We talk about the shit behind the scenes more than we talk about the shit in the ring or on TV. No, the booking sucks. The product sucks. The company sucks. The wrestlers are okay. Most of them suck. This is going to suck too.
You forgot to mention his mangina.
Oh, because he got hit with the soft part of the microphone.
Oh, no, you just, every time you talk about Tony Khan, you mention his mangina.
Oh, he wasn't a pussy this time.
There you go.
No, because he talked about how he was afraid for his life, which I call him a pussy for that. And then we saw the video, which illustrated that he's a pussy. But no, he didn't really do anything really pussified this time around. He's just a joke. I find it funny that he claims to be a lifelong wrestling fan and can't fucking sell a gut punch.
Well,
No, there's no well.
It's harder.
It's not harder. Come on, man. You are the owner of a wrestling company. You talk about how much better you are than the better wrestling company. You take shots out of nowhere. You're fucking comparing WWE to Harvey Weinstein, and you can't even sell a gut punch. Like, shut the fuck up. Sit down. Stay in your goddamn lane.
Well, that's from your side, and on my side, I say keep going, doing what you're doing. You might actually get me to watch Dynamite, and if that
You might get
happens, you
700
win.
people to come to your shit.
Yeah, I might be bothered to watch Dynamite, and if that happens, you win. But on that note, if you agree with anything, let us know in the
Oh, yeah,
comments.
by the way, Swerve Strickland, first black AEW champion. Haven't said shit about that. We're talking about Dixie Khan being introduced into the fucking Young Bucks and that bullshit.
Well, that's here nor there. Talking about the story, not talking about all that. But yeah, congrats, I guess. Or in
What's
order
a better
for
story than a black man rising from the ashes to claim the greatest prize in all of wrestling, that is the AEW Triple B belt?
well, I just think it's just a champion. I
See,
don't know.
that's what's wrong with you AEW fans. It's just
If
a
we-
championship. It's only the top prize in the company that should be the most revered and sought after thing in the entire fucking thing. But no, little Jungle Jack Perry and his dead father and little young fucks, they're more important. They're all the same size as Tony Khan. It doesn't look like he's lifted a weight in his fucking life because he has a pussy. Yeah,
There it is.
yeah.
There it is. Ding, ding, ding.